Hello indie game fans, without a doubt, the Nintendo Switch has become the console for indie games due to its portability, so here's a look at 10 Switch-only titles that are absolutely fantastic. While there are not too many pure exclusives these days, I've broadened the scope to include some titles from bigger companies which do have that same indie game whimsy, so let's get started. We begin with Jump Rope Challenge, a very strange entry from Nintendo themselves, released in the middle of a global pandemic last year. We think it is not, but it does encourage you to do some exercise with an imaginary jump rope, showing that quirkier side of the developer, which seems to want to keep players healthy and physically active as well. The Stretchers is a co-op title where you play as paramedics, having to work together to save people suffering from the disease. Of course, there's a whole bunch of co-op fun to be had with this, which does seem to be a crucial component of a great Switch experience, and is definitely best with a friend. What you may not know is that this is from Tarsier Studios, yes, the people behind Little Nightmares, so how's that for a change of pace? One of the trippiest titles that is Switch exclusive, at least for now, is PixelJunk Eden 2, the sequel to a beloved exploration platformer about tending to a garden. Of course, there are all sorts of psychedelic effects, backgrounds and areas to explore, being far out as the youth like to say. The chill vibes of this are just sweet, so something to chill out to for sure. Picross and Nintendo systems do go hand in hand, where the official Picross license is with Japanese developer Jupiter Corporation, with Picross S, presumably standing for Switch, being the current active series on the platform. I love Picross or nonogram puzzles, and if you're like me, handheld and on the go is a natural fit for this type of puzzle game. While there are a number of free entries on the mobile app stores filled with ads, you cannot go wrong with the slick interface of the original. I believe they are up to Picross S5, which released in November last year, which means plenty of puzzles to get to. Developer WayForward does make a whole bunch of cutesy games like the Shantae series, but are actually quite a large setup, with multiple teams working on multiple projects, including licensed titles, so not so indie after all, where the co-op shoot 'em up Vitamin Connection is of interest. It does look like a cartoon, which is wonderful, with the theme of vitamins fighting off bacteria and infections to keep the host healthy. Of course, this is best in co-op, so if you have not played this, grab a friend and check this out.
Oh, this is your dad's company? Apparently they offer a wide range of services. The job description entails many responsibilities. You'll deliver items, mop the floor, and maintain a comfortable work environment.
A super cutesy action puzzle title is Good Job, where you play as the clumsy child of the CEO and try your best to help out in the various departments. They are relatively normal objectives, but you do have free reign to complete them, being more of a sandbox-like experience, which is pretty cute. Despite the exterior, developer Paladin Studios has at least 35 members on staff and is not so indie, but a wonderful, whimsical title for sure.
Hopefully you're ready to join the team and be put to work immediately.
What are you trying to do?
Here, come over here. Cut. Rotate.
Jump!
One of the best Switch titles so far did release around launch with the co-op puzzle platformer Snipperclips. It has you playing as shapes who can cut pieces out of each other in order to solve puzzles, ranging from as simple as forming the same shape as an outline on screen to cutting out shapes to craft makeshift slopes and baskets to get balls into hoops and more. It's just a laugh and perfect for co-op, being one of the most cleverly designed games in the space.
In 1997, the world's first anti-RPG, Moon, launched in Japan and became a cult classic legend. Now, players everywhere will be able to experience Moon. Welcome to Moon World, a retro game within a game. Here, the so-called hero kills innocent monsters, forever hungry for more experience points. But you can save the monsters' souls and gather love from all the inhabitants of Moon World.
Alright, so this isn't exactly a pure exclusive, since Moon was a Japan-only RPG that released on PlayStation in 1997, but finally got an English translation in 2020, which is exclusive to Switch. It's a so-called anti-RPG, which is more adventuring, solving puzzles and talking to characters rather than your classic JRPG grindfest, and has been cited as inspiration for games like Undertale, which we have come to know and love. In fact, developer Toby Fox did actually have a hand in convincing this developer to translate it for a new age, and is a very interesting title in terms of design.
The love.
Another amazing entry early in the life of the Switch is Golf Story, a sports RPG title that's all sorts of fantastic. I'll admit, I hate pure golf titles since I don't enjoy watching the sport, but when you throw in cool characters, mini golf-like obstacles and that awesome pixel art look, of course I'm in. Rather than teeing off on 18 holes or whatever, you can tee off anywhere, which can unlock secrets, new areas, solve puzzles and more, so that alone is interesting, with a nice variety of areas and biomes as well, which makes it awesome. More like this please, and I would love to see similar takes on traditionally boring sports as well. I still find it so amazing that Cadence of Hyrule is a thing, but Nintendo entrusted one of their cornerstone IPs to cross over with one of the best indie roguelikes, which is just fantastic for indie games overall. It's a pixel art rhythm dungeon crawler where you have to move and attack on the beat, with enemies following the same rules and you have to dodge and avoid as well, so identical gameplay wise to Crypt of the Necrodancer. However, it's set at Hyrule and stars all of your favourite characters, and even includes songs from the Zelda soundtrack, which fits in excellently with the design. This trailer shows off the DLC, which includes additional characters, remixed songs, and even a whole new campaign starring Skull Kid, but I just love how this has raised the profile of indies, taking the #1 spot. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.